What's going on, guys? Joe Whedon here, back for another video. Gonna flip the screen so I'm not looking at it. And today I'm gonna be talking about my moving experience for moving into my new apartment. Originally this was supposed to be a vlog, and I just kind of kept delaying it because it's like, oh, I haven't finished recording everything, and there's some things I need to do, and oh, it's not perfect. And 2 months later I still haven't posted it. So here we are. I'm recording this the day before I posted it. I recorded like a day or two ago the actual clips of me talking about it, and I didn't really plan it out, and I just like was rambling, and I'm looking it over, and it's like I'm not really happy with what I did, even though there are some funny things. I'll probably have clips of me I'll make mistakes, I'm not myself, I'm not ashamed. I'll have clips of me actually talking. I say that a lot. I'll have clips clip this, clip that. Anyway, I'll show some of that footage, but I'm going to talk about the experience. It'll be a little more concise. I have more of a mental note and a video note on what I'm talking about. And yeah, I'm just going to be talking about my moving experience. So, you know the drill with YouTube. Like, comment, subscribe. Trying to hit 1K by the end of this year. And yeah, your support means a lot to me. So without further ado, let's get straight into the video. So without going into detail on things, I had to move into a new spot due to some reasons, because when I originally moved down to Tennessee, I was staying at a house with a guy I'd known, and yeah, I had to move out, and so I found this place with my friend, but the move-in date was for a while, or was like a bit of a ways out, and I stayed with a different friend for a bit, so I had all my stuff in this room. I kept everything in there. It was like just kind of a temporary thing, and part of the time I was in Minnesota, which the video will probably be up there. I probably only actually stayed in that room for about 2, maybe 3 weeks, which was fine, but it was like everything was crowded. I slept on a couch cushion, which I know I have a clip of that, or at least like my quote-unquote bed. And it was like, yeah, it wasn't the best situation, but it was like I made it work, and I probably could have had an actual bed, but I just knew it was going to be temporary. I didn't want to set it up. But then we'll move on to the actual move-in day and the move-in process, which went pretty smooth because like I said, originally it's supposed to be a vlog. So I like planned out my day. Like I had stuff in my car ready to go because like I think the move-in time was at like 2 o'clock. I think it got pushed up to noon. But it's like I had a haircut. I worked out that day. I had this stuff, and it was going to be I was like, man, this is going to be a cool vlog, and I just kept putting it off. Anyway, side tangent aside. The actual move-in process was pretty smooth. Luckily, I had some family come in to town, or that were in town at the time, and they helped me move my stuff, which is, you know, shout out to them. They know who they are if they're watching. It was great to have people help me out, as like originally getting my stuff to the one spot I stayed at took like 5-6 car trips, where total it probably took 3 car loads between the two of us, and that, or like the 2 vehicles, and that's including me bringing stuff initially. Maybe 4. It might have been 4, but like still, that's pretty good. That saved me a lot of time and a lot of energy. And getting things into the apartment was pretty smooth. Just having people help you move is a blessing. Yeah, so the actual moving process was pretty good, pretty normal, nothing too crazy, and yeah, so moving on from that, I'm going to talk about my room and my setup. So one of the things I had to do is, well, one thing was I didn't really have a lot of furniture, like when I moved down to Tennessee initially, and even when I moved here. The only things I really had were this desk that I'm sitting at, my fridge, and maybe like my fan and like my shelves for like my clothes and my shoe rack. There's not a lot I had. So like I had to get some new stuff, which for an early birthday present, my parents got me a bed frame. And we laid out the mattress, but I didn't actually set up my bed frame until a couple weeks later, which there'll be like clips of like the time lapse of me setting it up. And now that it's set up, it's good. The only thing is I had to move my desk around. Like initially the desk was like in the corner of the room, kind of set up like this, or it was like this, Anyway, it was set up differently. I had to move it so it's like in front of the bed. So currently I'm looking at my bed from behind the camera, which I think the setup overall now is a lot better than it was before. But I know I had to rearrange my room. Another thing I had got after I moved in was a shelf for my vinyls and like just another little thing. And I think it looks pretty cool. I like the way it's set up. It looks nice. I got my popcorn buckets, vinyls, and other just memorabilia, collectible stuff. I also hung up my movie poster, which I did a short video on, and I think it looks great. Like overall, the room is a nice setup and I like it so far. I guess another thing I should talk about before I forget is the lights. So the lighting in this room is actually terrible because the only source of light besides the window and sunlight is this lamp above me, which has a terrible, gross yellow light bulb. And I don't like that because it doesn't help for videos and it also doesn't really help for me actually seeing and having light in my room. So one thing I got were these LED strips. You can see part of them up here. I'll have clips of me setting them up. I got them at Costco for like 30 bucks. They're not bad. They do the job. They're kind of cool. The only problem with them though is they're prone to falling down. They've been good for a while now. I'm probably gonna jinx myself by saying it, but I had to like, they're supposed to be like have like some adhesive that you stick on the wall for the back, but then like the kind of like wear off. So luckily they came with things that I stuck on to the wall. Some of those fell off. I mean, it's good now. Hopefully it stays good for a while. But yeah, that's like the main things I've had to like really set up or that have been added on to my apartment. And I guess I'll also talk about like other things I had to add on, which was my bathroom, because like we each have our own bath. It's a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartment. I have my own bathroom, which is a blessing. And yeah, I had to like get shower curtains, the shower liner. I had to get like a rack for the shower to like, you know, hold the soap and stuff, because there's no place to put like any like body wash, shampoo, conditioner type stuff in there. So I had to set that up. I had to use like a Velcro zip tie in order to hold it. So that was fun. Other things I had to get were like garbage cans. So I got 2 of them, one for the bathroom, one down here, which is just like these metal ones. They're nice. They're small. I guess the only other thing in terms of my stuff that I set up was the PlayStation in the living room, because one thing I want to do is not play video games as much, and having it there has definitely helped instead of having it in my room where I'm tempted to play video games instead of maybe being more productive in like recording or editing a video. So yeah, that's the more of the process of moving in and just like setting up stuff. And then I'll have clips of the actual place, like my bedroom, my bathroom, along with the living room, kitchen, laundry room. It's a pretty simple setup, and I think the overall the place is nice. It does the job. I'm a single dude, like I am living with another person, but I don't really need much else. Just like, yeah, as a guy right now, I'm single, ladies. I'm single right now. I don't have any kids. I don't really have any crazy responsibilities, and you know, trying to save money and be responsible is a big thing, at least somewhat with finances. So I don't need anything crazy. I don't need a super luxury place, but this is a nice spot. I think it's great, and overall it's been a good experience. I have the amenities I need or that I could want, and yeah, it's just been overall good. So the last thing I'll talk about in terms of moving is my experiences with moving from different places and also moving into this new apartment, and things that I'd recommend to people who maybe they are moving soon or whatever your situation may be, just to give you advice from someone who's gone through this. So moving, I would say one thing is do your research on like where you're going to live beforehand. Obviously, like when I initially moved down here, it's kind of a spur of the moment, but luckily I had that place in that room. It's just one thing is like currently I work a job and it's luckily relatively close to where I live, and that's one thing where like, you know, people are like, oh I could live here and it's only a half hour or an hour drive to work and I save so much money. Yes, to an extent you do, but it's also you're spending money to get to where you work, and then you have to drive there back. So you're spending like an hour of your time there, driving there, an hour of your time driving back. It's like, how much money are you really saving? It's also, you gotta think about your vehicle. How reliable is it if you have a vehicle? Basically just like your distance to like where you work or places you frequent is definitely nice. And that's something you should consider. Like, you know, it'd be cheaper if I lived further away, but also it'd be more expensive in travel. So that's one thing I'd recommend to anyone who's moving somewhere, is just be cautious of like your distance and how you travel and what you want. It's also like, what do you have holding you back? Like, do you have responsibilities? Like, do you have a family? Do you have like a girlfriend, wife, kids, whatever? If you're just a single guy like me, place like this, close to everything, like I have all these stores like Target, Walmart, whatever I can need, Whole Foods, just down the road. It's nice. I don't really have to go anywhere. Do I want to live like this forever? No, but for the time being, I can't complain. Another thing I'd make sure is look over things like your lease, the costs of living. I was getting into that, the costs, but it's more like the distance and travel. Just make sure you can afford the place you're living with or you're living in, and make sure you have money set aside. Be smart. Be smart with your money. Just make sure that you can afford what you're getting into. And I mean, if you have to, if you want it, you can make it work. That's one thing I've learned by being down here. But just make sure that you can afford where you're living at, and that you aren't putting yourself into a financial like burden by trying to live somewhere that you can't afford. I would say another thing is try to live as cheap as possible, especially as long as you can, and as long as it's reasonable. So say like for me, like, you know, I probably could get a place by myself, but you know, having a roommate is a lot cheaper than having no one. But basically just like cutting costs where you can is definitely a good like investment or time save, or like just a good investment in yourself. Because yeah, even say if you have to share a bathroom or whatever, if that saves you a couple $100, maybe in the short term that is a good win. So I just say that's something to keep in mind if you are like looking for places to live, or thinking about like, oh, I want my own place, I want this. It's like, do you need it? Is it like something that maybe in the short term it might suck, but in the long term it could be beneficial? Or maybe you try to find like a place that you each have your own bathroom or whatever. Just make sure like you're saving money where you can when it's most like optimal for you. Just be smart with your living situation, as I think that's something not a lot of people do. They spend too much money on living expenses when you could probably cut costs in places that don't really matter, where it could benefit you more in the long run if you're saving that money and using it for other things. And yeah, that's really about it. I can't think of much else I really need to say about the apartment or just moving. I could talk about like my overall moving experience in a different video, just like in general, as I moved a lot. I moved a lot over my life, and this is just kind of another thing. It's just like, I wanted to make this video originally, like I wanted it to be a vlog. I have that problem where I feel like videos, like if they're not up to a certain standard, I feel like, oh man, I can't post this, I can't do this, and then I don't end up doing it, I get delayed. I think that's, not to make this video kind of side tangent, but like maybe that's just like a me problem, but like I feel like stuff like, oh, it's not good enough, but then I see people posting literally the most, I'm just gonna say, dog content I've ever seen on like Instagram, and somehow they have more followers and make money on this. And it's like, bro, you're doing a TikTok dance with your pickup truck, like you're not cool. Like it's just, I don't know. I just like making videos, man. I want to do this full time. I think that'd be so sick. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about my moving experience. You know, it's something that people have been kind of asking for, surprisingly, and yeah, I'm sorry this video got delayed. I wish I posted it last week, but I didn't get the opportunity because I was on vacation. I was in, don't want to spoil it. You guys will find out. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll probably find out sooner rather than later. So shameless self-plug, go follow my Instagram. It'll be linked in the description. Follow my TikTok. It'll also be linked in the description. And you know, since we're talking about stuff to plug, make sure to like the video if you guys enjoyed it. Subscribe if you have not already. Trying to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year, and your support really does mean a lot to me. Comment down below your thoughts on this. If you have your own move experience, or if you're moving soon, just like comment your experience moving if you made it this far, and I'd love to hear it. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on this, if you found some enjoyment or entertainment, or just you like me talking. I don't know. Follow both. Yeah, subscribe to my second channel. It'll be linked in the description. I plan on posting something there soon. I gotta think of something. And yeah, I got some videos planned out I am tired, but hey, I'm grinding, bro. I'm grinding. No movies. Stand by me. I forget how it goes, but yeah, I got some stuff in the pipeline. It'll be working on. Watch whatever's right here. It is my video that YouTube thinks you'll like. And yeah, I will see you all in the next one. Adios. Peace out. If I don't see you in the next one, bro, I'm gonna be mad. And bye.